Today on WAtv News, we'll introduce you to the latest state qualifier. We hear about the effect one three-sport coach is having. Our team finds out what made the Israel trip so impactful. And finally, we keep the Valentine's Day spirit of love going with a teacher love story. This is WAtv News. Good morning, Wheaton Academy. I'm Sebastian Mercado. Today's Wednesday, February 15th. Welcome to our 15th episode of the school year. Here at Studio 22, we took a week off, and it's good to be back. We have some great videos for you today. Starting with this first segment. Unless you are in the Lower Fine Arts Center on Tuesdays after school, chances are you've never come across this club that Gabby Mitchell reports on today.
Craft Club is a bit of an underground after-school activity here at Wheaton Academy. But what you think they lack in numbers, they gain in community and creativity.
I think I heard about Craft Club through an announcement at community time, and it sounded really interesting, and all my friends were doing it.
I think it's a great environment where lots of people can just feel welcome and be able to express a lot of creativity through their crafting. I actually did project crafting for the winter class, and that was really fun. I got to spend a lot of time with some friends that I haven't really spent a lot of time with. It was just great to be able to craft together.
Craft Club was actually inspired by the Arts and Crafts Winterim class, which focused around arts challenges and learning new crafting techniques. After teaching the past few winterims, Ms. Burek wanted to create that same space for students all throughout the year.
I think the most unique part of Craft Club is that everyone is welcome here, whether they have a lot of crafting experience or not a lot. I hope that a lot more freshmen could come into Craft Club and feel like they belong here, and so they can have more friends in high school and feel better about starting high school and stuff like that. And if you're navigating high school, you can come here and make friends with everybody, and the upperclassmen that are here could influence the underclassmen.
Craft Club meets every Tuesday after school from around 3:15 to 4:30. No sign-up or registration is necessary. Just stop by whenever possible to create some art. From WAtv News, this is Gabby Mitchell.
Thanks, Gabby. For our next segment, Jacob York reports on the impact that three-sport coach, our very own Mr. Swider, is having on Wheaton Academy and the students that he interacts with.
Among other coaches here at Wheaton Academy, Coach Justin Swider has impacted many players in Warriors country with his coaching ability and passion for sports.
Playing baseball for him, they've all been really positive. He's always been there for me on and off the field. Kind of just showing how close the bond it can be between a player and a coach, and that's always been really important to me. He's always made me feel welcome.
While coaching baseball, football, and wrestling, Coach Swider has developed many athletes here at Wheaton Academy, while also touching each one of his players' hearts.
Off the field, he's always been there for me to go talk to. When my mom passed away, he was one of the first people that came to my house. Always just showed he went above and beyond what he had to do for a player, not just me, but as long as other kids, as well as other kids, just going above and beyond to be there for them.
With baseball season right around the corner, make sure you stop by at some of the games, not only to support the players, but to support the coach that prepares the team.
Thanks, Jacob. Coach Swider has been impactful on the success that our boys wrestling team has had this past season. For that and more sports news, we bring back Jacob York into our sports zone. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, Sebastian. Teams are beginning to wrap up their seasons, and we have got a lot of the news to catch you up on. So let's jump right in with wrestling. This past weekend, the Warriors sent 8 wrestlers to the 1A Oregon Individual Wrestling Sectional. Will Hupke lost in the qualifying round at the buzzer, ending his season with a 36-5 final record. Tad Kazmierzak also lost in the qualifying round and ended his high school career with a 39-3 season record. Of course, there is a bright spot from the past weekend. Freshman Lincoln Hoger became the first Warriors state qualifier since 2019. And only the second student since 1979 to do so. Yesterday, I had the chance to walk 94 feet with him. Check it out. What's going on, Wheaton Academy? I'm Jacob York, and today I'm here with Lincoln Hoger, a freshman wrestler here at Wheaton Academy, who's going downstate, and we have a couple of questions for him on 94 feet. So, Lincoln, what's it been like so far wrestling for Wheaton Academy?
It's really nice, actually. It's a really good group of guys, and I really like the Christian aspect of the team.
How long have you been wrestling in your life?
This would be my 11th year. I wrestled 10 years at Fox Valley Youth. Yeah.
Awesome. What's been it like? So you're going down to state. What's the road to state been like for you this year?
It's been a great season. I had a really good record going into regionals, and then I took second regionals. I took second in sectionals, losing to the same kid, but hopefully I'll see him again at state.
Hopefully you make it that far. And 2 questions left. What's it like being the only Wheaton Academy ward representing us downstate this year?
I am a little nervous. I was hoping some of my friends would have made it down with me, but it'd be good. I know they're going down to support me, and I know everybody's praying.
All right, and for everyone watching this on WAtv, how can we support you with the matches coming up?
It will be streamed, and it's going to be at the University of Illinois. It's at a huge stadium. There's going to be a lot of fans. So.
All right, so if you guys can, go down to watch that on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But this has been Jacob York with Lincoln Hoger, signing off on 94 Feet. Congrats, Lincoln. Check out our athletic Instagram channel for updates this weekend. Our boys basketball team wrapped up their home games last Friday night with a win against Bishop Mack. The game featured double-digit scoring from Derek Schlembecker, Angie Mueller, and Sam Dykema, while Jeffrey Hilmer recorded 13 rebounds on the night. The Warriors went out to St. Francis for their final senior night last night and got revenge on an earlier loss to the team. The boys finished up the regular season on Thursday before heading into regional play. And speaking of regionals, our girls basketball team played in the regional semifinal last night against Sandwich. They unfortunately lost the game 37-39. The team was led in scoring by senior Jillian Paulson one final time. She had 16 points for the Warriors as she closed out a great career at Wheaton Academy. There's definitely hope for the future, and a glimmer of that came in the second half as Hannah Watson tore up the defense with 13 points in the comeback that just fell short. Congrats to the Warriors girls on a great season. For our next report, freshman Caleb Gruel spoke with Coach Felinsky about the quickly approaching track season. Check it out.
Coach Felinsky is excited for the next upcoming track season and is ready to see what his new runners can do and be able to be taught.
We're about to start track season in 2.5 weeks. I'm very excited about the season. We're going to have large numbers, probably about between 40 and 80 athletes out there working hard each day. I'm really excited to get to know all these new athletes and see their times drop this year. They jump further, they run faster, they throw farther than they ever have before. Those are really the top things I'm looking for in terms of growth as we start this track season.
Over the whole track season, the track team will be going to very different meets. But Coach Felinsky's favorite is Keeneland for its competition in the state.
We've got a lot of track meets. One of my favorite ones is the Canelan meet on a Saturday. It's an all-day meet where you get to see some of the top competition in the state.
If you still want to join conditioning, it is still going for the next 3 weeks before the 27th when tryouts start for track.
If you're interested in doing track, we start on February 27th, and we'd like to have as many of you out as possible. We've got some conditioning sessions leading up to that time, but tryouts are February 27th. Favorite practice workout, I love doing repeat miles and seeing the athletes run repeat miles because that's something they are all aware of, and they know when they break a 5-minute mile or 6-minute mile what that means to them. I'm looking forward to warm weather and training in warm weather with no snow.
If you still want to sign up for track, please contact Mr. Felinsky by on campus.
If I heard that correctly, anyone who wants to join the team should run up to Coach Felinsky at lunch and get the process started. Thanks for that segment, Caleb. Now, let's get you caught up on a few announcements. The server and ticket crew is still looking for more students to serve on the nights of the musical. There are 5 show nights, March 3rd, 4th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. If you have any interest in being an usher for the evening and serving desserts in the atrium during intermissions, please reach out to Mr. Hockett or Mr. Holtrop to sign up. Sock hop tickets are still on sale in the atrium. The pre-sale price is $25 per person, but that price is going to go up to $30 a person if you purchase a ticket at the door on Saturday evening. So please plan ahead and grab your tickets at lunch. And finally, there will be a mandatory baseball meeting this Thursday at lunch in the Warrior Room for any boys planning on trying out for baseball this spring. Now for our next segment, Spiritual Life Week had a profound impact on many of us last week, but for some in our student body, this past month has been highly moving in regards to their walk with Christ. Reporter Jacob Carlson sits down with a couple of people who went on the Israel Winterim trip to learn more.
This past Winterim, Wheaton Academy students had the opportunity to experience a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Israel. During this trip, students had encounters of God's glory. Students sat down and shared their impactful experiences and favorite parts of the trip.
I have to say my favorite part of the trip was when we were on this boat ride on the Sea of Galilee. I think it was about 30 or 40 minutes long, and after a little while it just seemed like almost everyone got quiet, and just looking at the water, I just thought of the fact that this is where Jesus did so many things, and just when there were some choppy waters, I just thought if Jesus wanted to, he could say, "Be still." And it was such a fun group to be with.
Another Wheaton Academy student explains how God was working within the group during the trip as well as back in the States, and how they can apply the trip to their everyday life.
We went to the Jordan River one day, where it's the river where Jesus got baptized, and it was just super cool. A bunch of people, I think like 6 or 7 of us, got baptized, and then pretty much almost everyone else got rededicated. So it was a super cool experience.
I really saw God working in the trip through how he made us bold. Just being in the Word every day and seeing how he just moved the students, really coming back to why I feel like he has made us bold in our faith and not ashamed.
The Israel trip this past Winterim has had a dramatic impact on students' lives and has positively changed their relationships with God. From WAtv News, I'm Jacob Carlson, Nate Burden, and Billy Young signing off.
And I know it's not much, but I've nothing else fit for a king, except for a heart singing hallelujah, hallelujah.
Thanks, Jacob. Valentine's Day has come and gone, but love is definitely still in the air. Reporter Sophia Lascaris connected with 2 Wheaton Academy couples to find out how it all started and what life looks like together now.
At Wheaton Academy, there are many families that not only attend the school but also work here. In honor of Valentine's Day, the Gregersons and Cheneys shared their love story and gave some wise advice.
So, we actually had a first meeting that Mr. G doesn't remember. So if you ask my husband, he doesn't remember meeting me for the first time.
Well, so my first job at a grad school, I was working at the college where she was attending, and there was like a talent show night, and I see this very attractive young lady sitting in the back on this couch.
He will tell you we first met probably a week later or so at this talent show at my school.
And so I just noticed her and went and started talking to her, and there was kind of an instant connection. I think she would say it took her a little longer to connect with me, but yeah, I was very excited to meet her.
Similar to Mr. and Mrs. Gregerson, Mr. and Mrs. Cheney also met while in college. However, they tell their story from a different stage of life as they parent their 3 children, Callum, Emmy, and Fiona.
My first impression though, she was kind of like, this was the stage of like kind of hipster emo. So Mrs. Cheney in 2008-9 was hipster emo Mrs. Cheney. And that was just curious to me, and I wanted to know more about this girl.
And we had like a general psychology class, and I like made a comment to one of my friends, and I was like, oh, I think that guy's kind of cute. And one day I came to class, and my friend had put my stuff next to Mr. Cheney, so like I had to sit next to him. And that kind of like then sparked like a funny friendship that we had honestly for like a year.
Both the Gregersons and Cheneys shared some key pieces of their relationships.
And just really get to know one another and converse, because one of my favorite things about Mr. G is that he's my favorite person to talk to as well.
We were friends for at least a year or more before we started dating, and I got to know her in class and before we were even an official like dating relationship. And I highly recommend that because I think that arts lead into like true companionship and partnership?
Laugh a lot. Life is clearly a little crazy, and honestly that's the way we get through right now, is through laughter and through finding joy and honestly all the funny things.
Whether you love it or hate it, happy Valentine's Day from WAtv News. This is Sophia Lascaris, Eva DeSouza, and Hannah Martin.
Thanks, Sophia, and thank you to everyone who has been willing to be shown on WATV. If you have an idea or a story that you think we should pursue, please reach out to any of our WATV staff members. We'd love to hear from you all. That'll do it for today. Thanks for joining us. Connect with us on Instagram at @TheRealWATV for all the latest Wheaton Academy information and news. From all of us at Studio 22, stay classy, Wheaton Academy.